It's time to talk LSU football on the flagship home of the Tigers. Call 225-499-9898. It's Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios, here's Charles Hannegriff and Jeremy Hill.
The Tigers make quick work of the UAB Blazers and take aim at Texas A&M to wrap up the regular season before heading to Atlanta to play for the SEC Championship. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Eagle 98.1 Game Day. I'm Charles Hannegriff. Gordy Rush is in for Jeremy Hill. On a night that was ripe for a sloppy performance, given the weather, the time of the game, and the opponent, the LSU Tigers were anything but. They came out extremely sharp in this game and put a couple of touchdowns on the board early. It eased any of the doubts or fears that LSU might have had that the lingering performance from Jaden Daniels from a week ago would carry into this contest. Daniels would finish with 408 yards of total offense, 297 through the air, another 111 on the ground, and a touchdown through the air and on the ground. LSU played this game without their starting center, Charles Turner, without their starting running back, Josh Williams, and without wide receiver, Kayshon Boutte. But they came out and played extremely well on offense, starting the game with touchdowns on the first two drives. They get touchdowns on the last two drives of the first half. The other drive that LSU had in the first half ended inside the UAB 10-yard line with a fumble. The LSU defense got put in a hole early because of a special teams gaffe. A 66-yard kickoff return set up UAB with a short field that produced the Blazers' only touchdown. Then an 11-play, 63-yard drive resulted in a 29-yard field goal. From that point forward, LSU gave up only 134 yards on 44 plays, about 3 yards per play, and no more points in the game. LSU got contributions from a lot of people. 8 receivers caught a pass. 4 players had over 5 carries. And LSU, with a 28-10 lead at the half, pretty much had this thing salted away. Save for 2 fumbles by John Emery, the Tiger and the special teams gaffe that we talked about a moment ago, LSU was, I don't want to say perfect, but they were extremely sharp on a day when a lot of the powers in college football either got shook up or, in case Tennessee, got beat. So, Gordy, there were a lot of nervousness going into this game that not necessarily the LSU would lose, but that they would go in, and again, this was a late-night start. The crowd was not, one of the bigger ones. The weather was lousy, and after playing 6 straight SEC games, you can understand that there had been a letdown to play a UAB team that's not all that bad. But anything but. I thought they came out early. They took control of the game, and I thought, my number one key to the V, but also, what you wanted to get out of this thing besides getting out, in one piece, was to get Jaden Daniels back. I think we used the word comfortable or in rhythm, whatever it is you want. And you accomplished that tenfold.
Yeah, you want to get the offense back on track. They inexplicably went up to Fayetteville last week. And bear with me, Charles. It's been a long day.
For all of us.
No. Look, and they went up there, and Jaden was, to me, he was tiptoeing. He wasn't comfortable. He wasn't in rhythm. Offensively, I give Arkansas credit. We talked about it in the pregame. I thought they did a nice job of scheming LSU, but the offense, just the offensive line kind of took a step back, and it felt like an offense that kept the defense the last 3 weeks. The defense, Florida, Alabama, and Ole Miss, kept them on their heels. Arkansas was on the front foot in that game, and so it was good to them get back in rhythm. I was impressed with what they did, and we can get into the scheme a little bit. Jaden was comfortable. They came out throwing the football in the rain. I didn't expect that. Really impressed with what they did, bounce back.
Yeah, that touchdown drive to open the ball game, I thought really set the tone because they threw the ball on the first 4 plays from scrimmage, and then Daniels with a nice couple of runs that got him down in a goal-to-go situation, and then the backs took it in. I think it was Emery got the first touchdown, but I thought it set a tone. That hey, listen, opponent. Weather, late night, forget senior day, forget about all of that stuff. We're not scaling the game plan back. We're we're running it forward. And I thought it, like I said, it set the tone for the whole night.
Yeah, we saw some of the design quarterback runs, and they were able to get Daniels established on the edge with some of the boots and the things they've been successful with the 3 games before Arkansas. I'm with you 100%. They got back to running the offense that we saw, and Arkansas becomes just an outlier. It was what it was. You flush it and you move on.
The defense, they got put in that hole with the long kickoff return. Unfortunately, that one of those things that had happened an awful lot this season. They had corrected it the last few weeks, but they get put in the hole. They give the touchdown, and then UAB put together the one drive. When I was going through my notes after the game, I remembered, how many times have we used this one? Where the old Lawrence Barker quote. Every team's going to put together at least one drive, okay? Right. And so they put together a nice field goal drive. And after that, it was 3 yards of play the rest of the way.
And UAB came out throwing. And that was the last thing that I think LSU really expected. This was a team that had run the football and known for running the football a lot, 11 personnel, and they had good backs, and they came out throwing the football, and they had some success doing so. I'm with you. Everybody can come and script 2 or 3 series. We saw Ole Miss did a great job of that. And then Matt House also, now getting a feel for him, he'll play some base first couple series, and then he does a nice job of adjusting to what the offense is doing. Always seems to dial up a little bit more pressure as the game goes on, and he did the same thing tonight.
More than anything, I'm impressed with the mental toughness that LSU showed here in this game because of all of those factors that we talked about. And if you looked around college football today, this was one of those days where it's like, you better be on full alert.
It's a trap weekend.
Yeah.
It's before all the rivalries.
Yep.
And how many big games did you have the week before?
Right.
If you go back and look at it. And then for the SEC, for whatever reason, people play a lot of games. Texas A&M played UMass, and they played like poo today. It was 13-3 deep in the fourth quarter with that. And for whatever reason, crazy things happen in this game this week before you get to that rivalry weekend.
And they were able to stave off all of those things. 499-9898 is the number to call. LSU wins it by a score of 41-10. We want to hear from you. Still a little bit of college football going on. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on. Game out on the West Coast that could end up impacting LSU a little bit. We'll explain what we mean by that as the show goes on. I want to hear from you, 499-9898 on the LaBerge hotline. This is Eagle, 98.1 Game Day.
Everybody has a story. We don't always know where it'll take us.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, eating pie, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. I thought about those days after my stroke. Wondered if I'd make it back to the places and people I love. But I got the right care from the right doctors because I chose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana.
When health issues surface, it's good to know you can rely on the strength of the cross and protection of the shield. Your card opens the door to a large network of quality providers to care for you.
The card matters. What you call home does too.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana has been helping Louisianians get care for generations. With the right card, the right care, you can get back to your story and to what you call home. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Louisiana.
Hey, it's Jan from Toyota, reminding you that Toyotathon is on and here to help make your holidays extra magical. How? Maybe it's driving in a Tacoma in search of the perfect hill to sled down. Or surprising loved ones in a RAV4 hybrid.
You made it!
And seeing their faces light up when you pull up to their home.
Dealer inventory may vary. Current offers on these vehicles end November 30th. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 3rd. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
The Sterling Automotive Group is all about selection, service, and savings. You can always find a great deal at one of the 12 locations throughout Acadiana. Shop 10 new car brands and over 2,000 new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Locations in Lafayette, Broussard, Opelousas, Crowley, and Jennings. Online anytime. Save at Sterling.com.
This is Skip Bertman, and as a coach for over 50 years and the father of 4 daughters, we've had a lot of happiness and accumulated lots of stuff. Dependable Storage wants your stuff. Now open in Baton Rouge. Visit dependablestorage.com.
Feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours. Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a look.
Eagle on 8.1 game day continues. LSU wins it tonight by a score of 41-10. Our online audience caught the open. Our radio audience we had some technical problems, so they didn't hear it. So what we'll tell you to kind of recap it is that LSU played with a lot of mental toughness in this game and didn't succumb to the external factors, whether it be the weather, the late start, or a non-Southeastern Conference opponent. Jaden Daniels, fabulous in the game tonight, 408 yards of total offense, really got back into a rhythm. LSU came out aggressive, throwing the football on the first drive, really set the tone in the first quarter with a couple of touchdown drives. After the kickoff return, put the defense in a hole. They really clamped down a lot of field goal drive the rest of the night. LSU got a lot of people involved. They had 8 different receivers catch a pass. You had 4 different players with at least 5 carries. After the field goal drive, the defense allowed 3 yards of play the rest of the way. We wanted to see if LSU could get the quarterback back into a comfort zone, back into his rhythm, and then have the rest of the offense follow suit. And that certainly happened. And Gordy, again, on a weekend that saw a lot of the powers in college football get shook up, and a couple of them upset. You could have been sloppy tonight. For instance, the turnovers in this game ended up not hurting LSU as bad as they could have, but we could have seen more things like that. We could have seen a lot of penalties, and we didn't see very much of that at all.
No.
Again, you had a couple of turnovers, but they didn't end up hurting you all that bad. And you pile up 565 yards of offense. You wanted to come out, establish the tone of the game, and I thought they really did that.
Yeah, look, the offense got back on track. As you mentioned, Daniels got back in the rhythm. I thought that was a good thing. Defensively, everybody's going to come out and script a couple series, and we saw that a little bit on what UAB did. Of course, the kickoff return set them up for that first touchdown, the only touchdown. And then, for me, it being around this program enough to see just the way, the consistency in which they practice and the things that Brian Kelly preaches, they came out and played at that same business-like level and got the job done. An impressive win in a weekend that's a trap weekend. Like you mentioned, you've seen upsets. You've seen games that have been closer than they should have been. And it's just one of those weekends before rivalry weekend, and had a lot of big games like LSU, Alabama last week. Teams are bouncing off of that, and you don't know how teams are going to play looking ahead to this Thanksgiving weekend and the last weekend of the season.
One game that should be of interest to LSU fans a little bit is this Oregon-Utah game. Oregon's winning by a field goal, 20-17, with under 2 minutes to go. The significance here is that the winner of this is driver's seat to be in the Pac-12 championship game against USC, who won earlier tonight. The significance of that is, with Tennessee's loss, in my opinion, the number one challenger outside of the teams that are already there for the college football playoff, the Big Ten winner, Georgia, and TCU, the next best team, probably USC.
Yeah, I agree.
And so the team that they end up playing, that could end up playing a role. So we're watching.
And a mixed bag here for Utah. To me, Utah is just not the elite physical team they usually are. They're good, 8-2. They lost to Florida early this season, and look, Bo Nix is quarterback in Oregon. I mean, they've had an above-average season. But I think SC is better than both these ball clubs.
Yeah, Utah beat USC
Protect your home
by
with
a
dependable
point
roof repair
with,
and service.
a 2-point
Garcia did
conversion
my
at the
roof.com.
USC beat, Utah beat USC by 1 point in Salt Lake City on a 2-point conversion at the very end of the game. Kind of LSU Alabama-esque. If those teams played again, I would give a heavy advantage to SC.
But again, SC's rolling now.
I'm
I'm impressed with the
offensively.
Offensively, they are. Defensively, but I mean, Utah's not juggernaut on offense. But
no,
it'll be a ball game. I think SC's a better team.
I do too, and I think Oregon would give them a much better game. 499-9898 is the number to call. Mike is in Broussard. Mike, welcome into the show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. I got to watch 95% of the game, and then I had a gig, so I missed a lot of the online show from y'all. Did y'all talk about Emery, the fumble, and has he seemed to be fumbling a lot in the last few games? At least once a game, it seems.
He fumbled twice. The first one was inside the 10-yard line, so essentially, that cost LSU points. Then they took him out of the game. He didn't get another carry until the opening drive of the third quarter. He got one carry there, and then they took him out until the fourth quarter. When they put him back in there, I think he fumbled on his second or third carry back in that drive. And then they went – this is actually one of the more interesting things of the night. LSU's running out of running backs. So Derek Davis, who was a four-star safety and was a fabulous running back in high school, Gordy. I went back and looked up his numbers. He was 2,000 all-purpose yards. He's from Pennsylvania. He got in there and had 5 carries at the end of the game. Actually, you could tell he's played the position before.
And you could tell he also didn't know the offense because a couple times they had to line him up, and Nussmeier was moving him around. I did notice that tonight. But look, Kane stepped up and played well.
He did.
And the thing you're going to get with Kane, high football IQ, going to run north and south, going to stay low, not going to bust it. For a big guy, he doesn't have the top speed, and I don't think he's been the same back since that first injury they had at Penn State. But definitely, you need a stable of backs to get through the SEC. Emery's had fumble problems since he's been here. That's what's kept him off the football, kept him off the field. That and some bad luck and all those things. And, a night when you need him, a night when you have just 2 scholarship backs of your original 4. Yeah, disappointing performance out of him tonight.
Yeah, the ESPN crew head that Armani Goodwin is out for the season.
In fact, Brian Kelly confirmed that in post-game press conference.
Okay. So, Josh Williams was in street clothes tonight. You were down there. Tell us what you know.
Yeah, he was just. I think they're holding him out. He was pretty banged up last week. I remember him limping a little bit in the back half of the Arkansas game. I'd be surprised if he did not play against Texas A&M. I think he's going to play.
The feel I got was that if they'd have been playing Georgia tonight, he would have suited up and gone.
Right.
Yes?
Turner was dressed out tonight, and Coach mentioned my post-game interview. He mentioned that Boutte had the flu, and I actually saw Boutte. He was in the locker room. He actually warmed up. He went through warm-ups, went down there, wasn't feeling well. I assume, I didn't see him out there in the first half. Did see him in the locker room at halftime. I thought he was coming back out. They obviously didn't need him. Maybe they decided to keep him in there. But, Boutte will be ready to go for A&M.
499-9898 is the number to call on the LaBerge hotline. Josh is in Bunkie. Josh, welcome into the show.
Hi. I wonder if I ask 2 quick questions real fast.
Go ahead.
I know Perkins, you want all his reps to be on defense. But my first question is, if they need him, do you think he would be on running back? Second question, do you think you could explain the rules of football?
That's the inside joke from last week.
Never, I always loved this show.
Yeah.
Everybody with it's like the first time
so
you and I have heard that it's, hey, I'm going to do 2 questions and I'm going to do the straight question.
Right.
And I'm going to get silly and set him up with the crazy one. We do not know the rules of football, but thank you for calling in. Look, I think Perkins could play a lot of positions. He obviously could play tailback, but they're not going to burn him there.
Yeah, that was one of the things that the crew had some time to kill in the second half, and they dropped one of the things that Kelly said in the production meeting, which was if we put Perkins at running back, when he got here, he would be our best running back. And I have no problem believing that.
No, I agree.
We already know you play multiple positions on defense. They're not going to. I don't think that they would that they would do that.
Look, and you know, if it was interesting, the UAB came out and ran their offense. They really didn't scheme too much for LSU on both sides of the football. And we talked about this in pregame show. I thought Arkansas and Kendall Browse did a great job of running. They ran a 3-by-1 formation, 3 wide receivers on one on the other. Often a lot of wide splits because Perkins is playing the nickel back essentially and forced him into coverage. And, you know, Brian Kelly talked about that on his postgame show and talked a little bit in the Monday press conference about some of the scheming that they did, and they set the edge real hard. We'll say on the defensive side of the football. For Perkins, they purposely are trying to get him the hell out of the tackle box. UAB came out, ran their 11 personnel, didn't care. And so I think once House got settled in, he was able to cut Perkins loose, and Perkins was able to be Perkins, and there was no need in them playing him in the spy role that he's played so many times this season. On the other side of the football, you know, UAB they ran their defense. They really didn't spy Daniels. I was really surprised. Everybody spied Daniels. They didn't spy Daniels, really didn't set the edge. They just ran their scheme. That was the first time we hadn't seen someone scheme in a while against LSU.
They've given up plenty of points. This is not a defensive juggernaut we're talking about.
Statistically, they're
UAB.
not bad. You know, they were 16 in the country last year. They were a little bit down from that. It's not terrible defense. They've played in a lot of close football games. I was just surprised that after Arkansas came out defensively and did such a great job of kind of staying wide with those outside linebackers and trying to take away Daniels and the edge, that they didn't copy and paste that same thing.
I guess I'm dinging them a little bit much for the San Antonio game, which was a double overtime.
It was double overtime,
game.
sure.
Yeah, so that's a little bit out of whack. 499-9898 is the number to call on the LeBearish hotline. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Don't have time for cold or flu?
I don't have time for the cold or the flu.
We're here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. When you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours. Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities.
98.1.
Eagle on 8.1 game day continues. LSU wins it tonight 41-10. Oregon closes out the 20-17 win against Utah. So it looks like Oregon and USC in the Pac-12 championship game that could end up having an impact on the playoff. 499-9898 is the number. Charlie is in Lafayette. Charlie, welcome into the show.
Well, I'm on the interstate going home, but this was a good win tonight. No one got hurt in the game. They move on. But a couple of things I was going to talk about. I enjoyed listening. In defense of John Emery on the first fumble, the snap was not very clean, and that kind of threw timing off. And he got the ball, then he got hit and fumbled. So I think that play just.
I'm with you, but he had 3 steps. I looked at the replay on that. He had 3 steps. He just never. You're right, but he had 3 steps to get that ball secured and get it tucked.
Yeah, I know that. And the other thing, talking about the playoffs, and we're putting the cart before the horse, but I think that if it comes down to USC winning out and LSU winning out, and it's between LSU and USC, unfortunately, I think 2 things that the big loss to Tennessee is going to play in effect, but USC will have beaten 3 ranked teams and won the conference championship and be 12-1. So we got to hope for 2 things to happen. Obviously, be a big Notre Dame fan next week, be a big Oregon fan, and also be a big, if it's Kansas State, whoever in the Big 12 championship game. So first thing they got to do is win out and beat Georgia, and then we can talk about the playoffs. If not, they'll probably be in the Sugar Bowl, which will be a good bowl. So anyway, I enjoy listening to y'all. It's just my 2 cents.
Thank you, Charlie. And look, I've kind of shied away from the playoff talk, this week because I think it would have been impossible. This whole LSU-Tennessee debate was contingent upon LSU beating Georgia. I'd have to see how that looked. I mean, being able to make a determination on, how they play against each other and the head-to-head was going to play. The conference championship piece is supposed to be something that they take into consideration. So I'm doing due diligence here, keeping you up to date, but I'm not going to come out with a definitive. LSU definitely gets in above USC, or USC gets in front of them.
You win, but if you win this conference, that's and look, I'm not there. First off, I don't have to do a daily show like you guys,
right?
So, and I think it's premature. And I realize you're in talk radio, you got to talk about it in your own social media and all that. And look, I saw a little bit of Georgia. I mean, Georgia's a double-digit favorite over LSU for a reason. I know Bama was as well. I have problem winning. If you've seen where Alabama and Tennessee and Georgia and these teams are, and this conference certainly has some quality, a little bit more. Obviously, Georgia's really, really good, but 2 through 8 are beating up on each other this year. A little bit better, I think, in the second tier than they've been. And we're talking about the Pac-12. Florida beat Utah. I mean, we're sitting here talking about Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's going to go 7-5, 6-6.
Ole Miss put up 700 yards of total offense tonight and lost by 15.
Mm-hmm.
700 yards of total offense.
I just you win the SEC. In my book, you're in.
I think you're probably right, but let's see what it all looks like. I just, like I said, I'm just kind of doing due diligence here to tell you that.
Look, man, you guys, all the people on this channel do a great job.
Play, and look, TCU gets out with what was a beautifully executed, fire drill for the field goal. You run out. I mean, Sonny Dykes is the national coach of the year right now. And look, I love what Brian Kelly's done. I mean, this is one of the most unbelievable coaching jobs that I've ever seen. But right now, Sonny Dykes is coach of the year. I mean, they were 5-7 last year, and they're 11. And right now, if you got to vote right now, I mean, Brian Kelly's had a great year. Those guys are undefeated. And there's a lot of good teams in the Big 12. I don't know that outside of TCU, there's another great team, another top 10 team.
K-State's salty. That's a tough spot.
There's some good teams there. Their game with Iowa State next week is no cakewalk.
No.
I mean, that's not.
And Iowa State's down. Iowa State's 500 football team
had
this year.
to replace the quarterback. Steve is in Baker. Steve, welcome into the show.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
Are y'all a little surprised that Kelly didn't put Nussmeier in the game a little earlier? Because I mean, to me, that game was over at halftime, and I'd be too afraid of getting Daniels hurt to leave him in the game too long.
So what I'm supposed to say here, I guess, is that, well, the coach knows what he's doing. He knows his personnel better and blah, blah, et cetera. But what I'm going to tell you is yes. Yes. I was at least one drive, if not two. UAB wasn't going anywhere against that defense, and I'm holding my breath. He took some shots, and it's like, man, look, that's the franchise right now. So don't. Yes,
I was
Steve,
surprised
to answer your question.
I was surprised they didn't move earlier.
One, maybe two drives on Daniels. Thankfully, everybody got out okay. Everything's good. But yes, to answer your question, 499-9898, the LeBerge hotline. Kevin is in St. Charles. Kevin, welcome into the show.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing? This is your old friend Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing good. Somebody brought up the nightmare scenario where if LSU were to lose to Georgia and if USC and TCU caught a loss,
Well, I know where you're going.
could Alabama possibly get back into the national championship hunt?
I don't
Please
think
tell
so.
me no.
I don't think so. No. Listen, a two-loss team with a conference championship on their resume has got a real arguing point, okay? A two-loss team that doesn't even play in their conference championship game, I think, is dead in the water. I would have no problem putting an 11-1 or 12-1 Clemson in above Alabama, and the ACC is not good this
Georgia
year.
Tech beat North Carolina.
Beat North Carolina
Who's
today.
going to play Clemson now? That Carolina still has a tiebreaker, I assume,
yeah,
right?
they do.
Is that set? Is it Clemson, Carolina?
I think it's.
I mean, Carolina should have lost an app.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but even with that, I would have no problem putting. I would have no problem putting Clemson in front of them. I would have no problem putting a 12-1 TCU team in that lost next week and won the Big 12 championship the following week with a loss. Would have no problem putting a USC team. I mean, all of those teams have to lose. So no. I
think that you look at Alabama, that they lose to LSU, they lose to Tennessee, and they don't play Georgia.
Right.
You don't even play Georgia, and that goes back to Big 12 and their crappy commercial where we play everybody, right? We get to play everybody, one true champion, blah blah blah. So I'm with you in TCU and even Clemson, an ACC winner, gets in with one loss.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: what is Alabama's best win? I would, up until about an hour and a half ago, I would have told, well, maybe a little bit more than that. I would have told you Ole Miss.
Texas?
Okay. Yeah.
What's Texas? 3 losses?
Yeah. I would have told you Ole Miss, but Ole Miss has now lost their third game. The highest ranked team that they beat when they played them was Ole Miss and then Mississippi State. So if these are your two best, the resume is not that good. And if the committee's as interested in style points as they say that they are, then you got out of Texas by an eyelash. You got out of the Texas A&M game by an eyelash and a half.
I think Bama's done.
Yeah, I do too. But I understand his concern. Okay, it's they're like the end of the horror movie. Okay. The villain is dead, but comes back through the floor one more time, or it comes back from out behind the door or whatever. Yes, I understand why. I'm as excited as anybody in college football about the playoff expanding, and then I was reminded that in years where Alabama does lose that second game and wouldn't get into a 14 playoff, they would get into a 12-team playoff. For sure, and it's not somebody.
Are you going to do one of your rants tonight?
No,
huh?
it's way too late. Although I got to tell you, Alabama played. They kind of sleptwalked through the game today with Austin Peay, and they're not as good.
I mean,
they're not as good.
The surprising thing for me about Alabama this year, they're just not dominant on the offensive line.
Or the defensive line,
right?
Really, they're
yes.
good over there. I mean,
they're
Anderson's
good,
a great
but
player,
the O-line you're used to them being too deep and putting 2 or 3 guys in the NFL draft every year. And they still may have 1 or 2. And they're not bad. They're just not Alabama elite. And that's what jumped off the table at me.
That's absolutely right.
Yep.
They've got 2 of the top probably 5 picks in the draft. And then the safety will probably go in the top 30 picks or so, probably in the first round. And then the next guy might not go for 2 more rounds.
Right.
Usually there's a dozen guys go in the top 120 picks
and
or so.
I think that's been the theme that we talked about on Handycast, is that it's just a strange year because you have so much. You don't have continuity. You don't have continuity. And other than Georgia had very little turnovers, comings and goings. I mean, excuse me, they had a lot of goings. They put 15 people in the NFL draft. But they didn't have to add the 15 people that Ole Miss and LSU did. And so, Alabama this year, so they weren't elite on the offensive line. They got 90 yards of penalties every game.
Yeah.
It's just a different looking Alabama than you're used to. They're obviously very explosive. They got athletes, but they're not what you're used to seeing. And that's part of this whole time that we're in here with the transfer portal. Everything else going on in college football.
Saban even looked happy after the Ole Miss game. I mean,
did he?
Yeah. Well, he had this. Yeah, I'm not even joking.
Okay.
He had this look of joy on his face, which you almost never see out of him. Most of the time, we've seen this guy win a national championship, get the Gatorade dumped on him, and look like somebody just run over his foot. And he had a genuine, he's not an actor or anything, so he had a genuine look of joy on his face when they beat Ole Miss, and it was almost like, yeah, okay, we can have fun again. And I was reminded of Spurrier's comments when he hung him up and went to the NFL. He said, it's not fun anymore. It's a relief when we win. There's no joy in it. We're expected to put up 50 points and win by 7 touchdowns every week, and when we go on the road and play somebody that's really good and we end up winning by a touchdown and we come back and everybody wants to tell us how terrible we are because we didn't, win the game by 50 points, there's just no joy in it anymore. That's kind of what Saban looked like in that game. Don't read anything into it. They still got the number 1 recruiting class next year. He's going to coach forever, but because I've just given up that he's ever going to retire.
I see him on the other side. I think Saban has enough of this, this whole transfer portal and all this other stuff.
That does give you a chance.
He's going to end at some point, but talking to some of veteran coaches that have been a part of this, they've thrown their hands up in this crap where it's become the kids are running the show.
The basketball coaches went first.
Yeah.
Williams and Krzyzewski. And those guys were older. They were nearing retirement age. But then you see somebody like Jay Wright at Villanova, who's still a young man in the coaching percentage. He's like, I'm out.
Matt Luke
got my ring, got my money. I'm out.
Go Google Matt Luke leaving Georgia. Got his ring at Georgia. Said that's enough. I got kids. I'm not doing this.
Got my money. I'm out.
Got to recruit 24/7. I got to re-recruit my players. We got NIL. And it's an added element that these coaches. I mean, they work some hours, and you put this on top of it.
499-9898 is the number on the LeBear's hotline. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644.
98.1.
Eagle on 8.1 game day continues. Tigers win it tonight by a score of 41-10. Pick up the 9th win of the season.
Wow.
I know when you say it out loud, right?
I mean, you go back to that Auburn game. What we're at 17-0 hole in that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you left the Superdome, I mean, I know how I felt when I left the post game that night. I was like, okay, this may take longer than we thought. 6 or 7-ish wins. If you'd have told me walking out of the Nopsey Hotel after the post game, hey, you know what? They're going to be in the top 5 in the country by the time they go to Texas A&M. Come on, man.
No.
Not a chance. Brian Kelly after the game.
I told our team that we have a meeting before we come out to the stadium. It's called our Mental Edge. And I told them I want to be able to come out in front of the media and talk about the growth of this football team, and in particular the mental toughness that they have acquired over the year. And let me just take a minute to articulate this the right way. Mental toughness to me and our team is accountability. It's the ability to count on their teammates and themselves to do it the right way, to do their job the right way when it's needed, and the right way. And that's taken time, and they did that today, is my point. When you look across college football today, there are many teams struggle to put their best version of themselves out there. This team did that. against a team that, if you listen to people talk, you're supposed to beat them. And it requires an accountability that you're intentional in what you do, and you do your job when you're supposed to do your job, and you do it the right way, the way it's been taught. And I'm so proud of our mental toughness and their ability to do it the right way late in November against the team they're supposed to beat. And the wins have been nice. The individual achievements have been really neat. The SEC West Championship, but I'm most proud of the mental toughness that this group has shown. So I wanted to get that out. I apologize if that was long, but that's what this team has gotten.
Let me give an example of somebody that we haven't really talked about, I don't think at all this year, that played tonight. And if you didn't notice him, it was a good thing. Marlon Martinez.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, going in and replacing a starting center is not the easiest thing to do. And Martinez has not played a whole bunch. He's played a little bit, but not a lot.
And wasn't a center. Has been a guard since he's been here. Didn't play center in high school either.
This is one of we use it as a handicapping tool, that when a team starting center is out, you go against them because the odds are that they're not going to play as well. I didn't see a whole lot of missed assignments. I mean, this guy's got a tremendous amount on his plate mentally that he's got to do, the line calls and all. I'm sure they helped him out, but my point is that he stepped in and they didn't miss a beat. And in September, they had to shuffle that offensive line, it seemed like half a dozen times, and now you can do it without without it being a real big bump in the road.
No, it's impressive. I mean, the job the offensive line's done. We go back to that Florida State game. Florida State came up in a bare front, that double eagle, put 5 people up there, and they couldn't block a soul.
Yeah.
It was bad. You go back to that game, like, Jesus, it's going to be a long football year, and the job that Brad Davis has done, and obviously Coach Kelly's involved with that offense, and they've been able to move and shuffle people around to after Dellinger goes out. Able to shuffle that line, and tonight for Martinez to play that well in the rain, cold, wet. I know it's UAB, but still, it was a good game.
499-9898 is the number to call the Bears hotline. Daniel is in Bunkie. Daniel, welcome into the show.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. My first thing is, I know Coach Kelly said Boutte had the flu, but what about Josh Williams? Did he have the flu? Because I didn't see him tonight.
No, it was a knee injury, and I think had they been playing A&M, he possibly could have gone. I think the fact it was UAB, they went ahead and held him out. They said that Boutte and Josh Williams would be back for A&M. Coach Kelly said in his post-game conference. And Boutte actually warmed up. He was on the field and then did not come out for the first half. Again, I saw him in the locker room, and I didn't see the sideline. Everybody was wearing those Chicago Bears jackets, right? Those big Green Bay Packer jackets. So I'm not sure if he went out. There was no need for him to come out. But if he had the flu, you imagine they brought him back in, put him on an IV, tried to get him hydrated.
I see. Well, and the other thing, it seemed to me like there were a lot more commercial breaks tonight than usual. I know the game, it took about – it seemed about an average length of time for a game, but it seemed like there were a lot of commercial breaks even in the second half. I mean, and I was just thinking, why are they taking all these commercials? I mean, it can't be just all that many people watching on TV right now.
Yeah, great point. Great point.
It's the same amount.
Good call.
Hey, did Turner go through warm-ups? Charles Turner? Did he?
No, Turner had his jersey on. Yeah, I didn't look to see if his pads were on, but they knew he wasn't playing tonight. Williams had his jersey street clothes.
Yeah. When Kelly talked about Boutte and Williams coming back, did he say anything about Turner?
No.
Okay.
No, but I assume Turner. I thought I saw Turner. Don't quote me. I thought I saw Turner. He was on the bench, right?
Yeah.
If he's on the bench and he's not, not on crutches or anything serious, I imagine he's in contention to play. But they did not. He was not clear in the post-game conference about that. Post-game.
You didn't take any more commercial breaks than you usually do?
No, crap, Coach. You know how radio goes. I mean, you did those 16-inning games with Hawthorne and against UNO down on a Tuesday night, and I'm sitting there with Blair, and we're going through the 2 deep, 3 deep depth chart in the 41-10 game, and you look up, nobody's in the stands. It's getting colder. Nobody's actually on the field. Even the photographers have gotten enough pictures; they're gone.
And that's when you say, "Run the clock."
Run the clock.
Run.
Called the U High game last night, and
time.
they were up on Country Day 43-0, and they put running clock in the play. I like that.
Playoffs,
right? In the playoffs,
wow.
They did running clock.
Okay.
Yes.
499-9898 is the number to call. You get a chance to see most of what went on in college football before the game.
Yeah, I saw more today because we played so damn late.
Yeah, because today was a you-know-what show.
Yeah.
Georgia struggled. Ohio State struggled. Michigan struggled. TCU.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now all of these teams are playing conference opponents.
Texas A&M struggled.
Texas A&M did. You see the pictures of Kyle Field?
It was awful.
Oh, man.
I think we could do a session on that. What do you think LSU is gonna walk into come Saturday?
I think it's gonna be one of two extremes.
I'm with you. Yep.
The one extreme would be that, hey, this is our bowl game. We hate LSU. This is what we're gonna go out and play with our hair on fire and really raise the level. I think that's a possibility, but I think the much bigger possibility is the other extreme, which is run the clock. We're ready to get out of here, and it's going to be a race to the transfer portal as soon as the clock gets zero.
I didn't see. What's his name? A-Chain even healthy?
No.
The running back?
No.
He's done?
That was my understanding, is that he was done for the. I mean, if you're,
we'll have to check the stats.
Why
would you bring him back?
Yeah, if you've got so much as a hangnail, why would you?
Right.
Why would you do that? It's 7 layers of hell right there right now, because you listen.
You just put it was 13. What I saw, it was 13-3 against UMass with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they showed students running around with no shirt on through the top of the bleachers with nobody in the whole section.
I'm talking about there's nobody. There might have been the pictures I saw. There might have been 10,000 people in the stadium, and 10,000 people in a stadium the size of Kyle Field. Well, I mean that thing will swallow up 10,000 people. It looked like, well, you've been to many of these things when LSU has a scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
A spring scrimmage, or even an August scrimmage, where they invite with the Gridiron Club or the parents, former players, they bring them out there, and for those things, I think the one we went to, there was probably 5,000 people there, something like that.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. And
Thanksgiving weekend. First off, that's a big 45,000 students. Are they going to stick around for Thanksgiving holidays? Are you gonna come back for this football game? So student section is gonna be half full,
right?
And does A&M really hate LSU that bad to come see this game, a 4-7 game?
Well, they don't. I'm sure that they don't think they're gonna win.
Am I going to drive an hour and 30 minutes from Houston
if
to come see that?
If they thought they had a really good chance to win, maybe. But
I'm just interested to see.
No, I think that.
Not to mention, I mean, when you're UMass, by the way, this isn't a good UMass team.
It's one of the worst.
This
teams
was
in
1-10 UMass.
One of the worst teams in all of college football, and they're right there with you. And do you think they can fire Jimbo Fisher? I mean, do you think they can raise $86 million?
Yes, in Texas A&M.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't think they are.
$86 million.
What are you going to do? Who are you going to bring in? All of a sudden, Jimbo, who's always called all his plays, you can bring Kendall Briles in. I mean, he's not leaving Arkansas, but for example, young, hot offensive coordinator.
You can build a lot of things on campus for $86 million,
Coach, you imagine that conversation with Jimbo? Hey, I'm Jimbo, your offensive coordinator.
Right.
Hey, Charlie, look, I'm going to let you call your plays. No, really.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you call your plays.
Sure, and anybody that goes – now, I don't think they can fire him this year, but next year, you got an entire offseason. You got to go back to your roots. I understand they've got more money than, God gave a lemon, but listen, you go and tell all these guys – they were number one in NIL spending, right? Or that's at least the rumor.
That's the rumor.
Okay. So you went and you asked all of these donors, okay? You know a little bit about the NIL thing. You say, okay, you give us this money, we get these players, and we're going to win. So you write the check. You give them the money. and you got 3-7. So then you come back behind. You got to go ask the same people, listen, we need a lot more money to get rid of the coach, and then we need a lot more money to go get another coach, and then you still got to give us some money for the NIL so we can go get the players to replace the ones that are going to hit the transfer portal 5 minutes after the game ends against LSU.
Charlie, last year you gave us $3 million.
Yeah.
This year we're going to need $9 million.
Right.
Triple the play.
Because we went 3-9 or whatever they're going to end up. This is the bad time there. So
if I was
sorry.
Netflix or Amazon or any movie producer, I'd had boots on the ground in late September in College Station.
Like Hard Knocks?
I'm talking documentary because this is going to be the standard in what's wrong with the NIL. Somebody that's covered about all this, all the Saban and this top recruiting class, and that's the beginning. And then you go game through game, and they just had a top defensive lineman take off and hit the portal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I can sell Spencer Rattler in Phoenix, I know he had a big day today, but coming out of Scottsdale, Arizona on the QB or Last Chance U up in Scuba, Mississippi, you sure as hell can sell the Texas A&M documentary of what's the NIL thing.
I just don't know what happened. Because, look, regardless of what you think of Jimbo Fisher, he's not that bad a coach.
No.
Okay?
No, this is just snowball.
And
right?
there's plenty of talent there. So you figure, okay, they're going to have a really bad season. A really bad season would have been 7-5.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were sixth in the country to start. A really bad season should have been 7-5. Like Skip said, we buy you 3 wins. Okay?
Right.
And one of the wins that they bought them ended up beating them
in
App State. So
it's just hard to imagine offensively that they've gotten this bad.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, when Jimbo got there for someone, he turned them into a physical team. They were able to run the football. You got good backs. They just up front, it was a bad offense.
You know how close they are to being a 1-win team going into today? If they play Arkansas in a college stadium and the goalposts aren't as tall as they were in Jerry World, the kick for Arkansas goes over the upright and they win. Arkansas wins, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a muff punt against Miami, who's also not any good.
That's right.
You're that close to being a 1-win team going into today. 499-9898 is the number to call on the LeBarish hotline. We'll take a break, come back with more of your phone calls. LSU wins it 41-10. This is Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Don't have time for cold or flu?
I don't have time for the cold or the flu.
We're here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. When you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours. Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana Loyal. Always.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
98.1.
Eagle on 8.1 game day continues. 41-10, the Tigers win it tonight. 499-9898 is the number to call. Carla's in Walker. Carla, welcome into the show.
Hey, Hanny.
Hey, Carla.
How y'all?
Oh, we're doing good. We're doing good.
You go by Hanny now?
It's on the marquee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on, I've been calling in for years.
What's on your mind, Carla?
Anyway, 2 comments and 1 question. I was going to bring up the second-string center that did really well, Martinez, yeah, Marlon Martinez. But y'all talked about him already. Second, Gardy, A&M will be full. They hate LSU.
Okay.
Question. If by the grace of God we beat Georgia, which God's on our side, and Michigan loses twice, we're in, right?
Michigan can't lose twice. They've only got 1 game left. If they lose, they're not going to the Big Ten championship game. So Michigan can't lose twice.
Big Ten. Ohio State, Michigan winners in.
Yeah,
I'd be shocked if who's on the other side. Iowa.
The Michigan Ohio State loser picked up some ground tonight. Okay?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because if USC loses again, Tennessee losing, it's kind of a big deal.
Yes.
Because they would have had a better win on their resume than the Ohio State Michigan loser with the win, assuming Alabama beats Auburn next week, which is by the way, it is not an absolute guarantee. Now. Cadillac's got them playing hard.
No.
They're outmanned a little bit, but Cadillac's got them playing hard.
He's got them playing hard. I don't think they have enough offensive power.
You're probably right, but it's not.
It's going to be a game.
It's not. Yes, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. So, the loser of the Big Ten championship game picked up some steam today. Clemson's not dead yet, and then you could get a 1-loss TCU team if they lost to Iowa State next week and beat whoever they end up playing in the Big 12 championship game. You got to at least consider them. I don't think they get in, but what are my other alternatives
at that
point? So you got some teams in play. The other thing I was thinking about during the break is, and this is going to rile people up on Tuesday, but USC is probably going to jump LSU in these rankings this week. They beat UCLA, who's a good team. It doesn't mean it's a placeholder this week. If LSU wins the SEC championship, they jump right back over SC, and if they don't, they would have been behind them anyway. So don't get in a tizzy if the Trojans end up number 5 this week, because that could very easily happen. Caller, thanks for the call. Jules is in Abbeville. Jules, welcome into the show.
Good evening or good morning, and happy Thanksgiving. Charlie, would you, with the money not considered, would you like to be Billy Napier right now?
Ooh.
Is this when I'm supposed to go, you want Napier?
that was rough. That was rough today. That is only the second time that Vanderbilt has beaten Florida since 1989. Okay?
That was, 3 years ago they beat. Was it with Mullen? Or was there?
No, it was back. It was back in. I had to look it up. It was 13. Yeah, it was. It was one of the McElwain teams. So no, I didn't. And let me tell you something. I watched a lot of that game. It was no fluke. I mean, Vanderbilt played. This wasn't like a scoop and score and a fluke tipped pass or anything like that. They played with them.
Vanderbilt, you can build some continuity at Vanderbilt because a lot of those kids are there for that education. Yeah. And I'm going to keep talking about continuity, you and I, the next 2 to 3 years. Mm-hmm. In this day and age of the transfer portal, it's huge.
Yeah,
and so they've done a good job over at Vanderbilt.
Clark Lee, former Brian Kelly assistant. So no, I don't. If I don't get the money, no, I don't want it. No thanks. Jules, we appreciate the call. That was, and I thought it was one of the picks when we did the show on Friday. I said, look, take Vanderbilt to the 2 touchdowns because how many times have we done this? 11 o'clock, Nashville. 40 degrees.
Goofy stadium.
Yeah.
You walk out, it doesn't feel like a football stadium.
Florida's got a real interesting end-of-the-year matchup with Florida State, who's surging, okay? Yeah. And Napier first year. Norvell, who went into the season on a warm seat, maybe not a scorching hot seat.
You got to be able to throw the football a little bit more than what they're doing right now with Florida. That was my takeaway. 1. And 2, again, and go back to continuity, but they Florida just didn't have the dudes. I mean, Florida always had DBs. And on defense, they had 2 or 3 players. You're used to seeing 9 that were going to play on the next level. So he's got some recruiting to do. Florida has as much money as anybody. They have a big collective. Should get that right. But I wonder about offensively. You won a lot of games at UL with Levi Lewis, who was more of a spread-the-run guy. I think you got to be a little bit more balanced.
I'm going to blow your mind because I don't think you know this stat.
Okay.
How many yards do you think Anthony Richardson threw for today?
You tell me.
400.
Did he really?
He threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, and they lost.
What?
400 yards even.
Then and most of those are big plays. When you see, you'd have to. We'd go back, and that shocks me.
Yeah,
because he's not. LSU played him. You want him to throw from the pocket. That's the first time I think we really saw Perkins spy. We did see him a little bit against was that Ashford for Auburn, but mainly he played that second half and did a great job spying Richardson. It's going to be big play. He's not going to consistently throw the football down the field.
They turned the ball over twice, but Vanderbilt did too.
Yeah.
One of the
he threw for 400 yards,
3 touchdowns, and they lost. They fumbled a punt into the end zone that Vanderbilt fell on. That was one of the scores.
How do you throw for 400 yards, get 24 points?
Well, you go talk to.
What did they rush for?
45.
That's it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Vanderbilt, on the line of scrimmage, Vanderbilt was right there with them. No, you want to talk about some goofy stats today. I'm still trying to get over the fact that Ole Miss had 700 yards and lost by 15 points. 700 yards of total offense and lost by 15 points. I mean, how hard is that to do?
Look,
give me the Alliance Sports Bureau. Who's done that?
I know all of us are tired. It's 2 a.m, but thank you for having us on 11 a.m. against Arkansas, because you saw how cold that thing was tonight at 6:30.
Yeah.
They interviewed Lane Kiffin. Lane's like, it's not cold. They're like, you look at the people behind them in Arkansas. When the people in Arkansas bundle up, it's cold.
It reminded me of when USC went to the Sun Bowl. They were.
I remember that.
And they
no-showed.
Did not want to. Somebody beat.
Kiffin was the coach, right? Or Sark.
Kiffin was the coach, and he had that big. He looked like Nanak of the North with this big old headdress on and this big thing. And they did not want to. Who beat them? I'm trying to remember. We were against.
It was like Wake or somebody like that.
Yeah. When we saw him come out, I never seen Jimmy I get so excited in my life to see a coach come out of the locker room. He goes, "That's it. They don't want to be there. I'm going against them. Forget it." We'll take a break. We'll come back. Let you know the stats, the scores, what happened today in college football. It was a day. It's Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford
98.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Stat Check. Presented by Luba. Luba, genuine dependability.
Tigers win at 41-10. Here's your yardstick. First downs, LSU 31, UAB 12. Total yards 565 for the Tigers, 259 for the Blazers. Passing yards 299 for LSU, 211 for UAB. Rushing 266 for LSU, only 48 rushing yards for UAB, who came in with the nation's leading rusher. Penalties tonight, 3 for 39 for LSU. They did a good job there, 8 for 73 on UAB. Third down efficiency, LSU a cool 11 out of 13 tonight, and UAB 4 out of 14. 2 turnovers for LSU, no turnovers for UAB, and the time possession been favor the Tigers 33-09 to 26-51. Individual stats tonight, Jaden Daniels, 22 of 29, 297 yards, a touchdown, and no picks. Dylan Hopkins, 14 of 29, 158 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions for UAB. Daniels also led LSU in rushing, 12 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown. Noah Kane, 13 carries for 76 yards and 3 touchdowns, his best game as a Tiger. John Emery had 9 carries for 46 yards and a touchdown, but did have those 2 fumbles. Dwayne McBride, the nation's leading rusher coming in, held to 34 yards on 13 carries. He did score the only UAB touchdown. LSU had 8 players catch a ball tonight. Malik Neighbors led the way with 7 catches for 129 yards. Jack Besh with 3 for 61, and Mason Taylor with 3 for 39. Bryce Damas, 3 catches for 56 yards for UAB. Defensively, Tigers led by Greg Penn. He had 8 total tackles tonight, including 1 for loss. Harold Perkins, 5 total tackles, 2 for loss. He also had a pass defense. Jalen Key with 12 total tackles for UAB to lead the way for the Blazers. Bramblett punted 1 time for 44 yards. It was inside the 20. Greenwell punted 6 times for UAB for a 45.8-yard average. And that is your yardstick. We'll come back and give you our final scoreboard of the night. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Don't have time for cold or flu?
I don't have time for the cold or the flu.
We're here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. When you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours. Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Eagle 98.1. The Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln College Football Scoreboard. Robinson Brothers Ford Lincoln, on airline under the giant American flag.
You're going to notice a theme here with the first scores. Number 1, Georgia struggled but won 16-6. They one touchdown by Georgia in this entire game. Kentucky had their chance, threw an interception in the end zone in the first half. Will Levis threw for 206 yards. They missed a 2-point conversion on a play that they should have made. Kentucky was there, okay? They were right. I never really felt like, they're in great position to win this game, but they never completely went away either. Number 2, Ohio State struggled but won. They were trailing Maryland at the half, 13-10, and came back, scored 33 points in the second half to brush off the pesky Terps. Number 3, Michigan struggled but won. Field goal with 9 seconds to go over Illinois, 19-17. But the concern for Michigan is Blake Corum, Heisman Trophy candidate at running back, hurt himself in this game. His availability for Ohio State right now is unknown. Number 4, TCU got the field goal unit out there with the clock running on the last play of the game and beat Baylor 29-28.
Wow. What a job Sonny Dykes has said. You mentioned it. What a job he's done. He is a Coach of the Year candidate coming over from SMU across town. Done a wonderful job.
They asked him, after the game, did you consider, they could have kicked it from 47 yards if they had just, run it on third down. No, we practiced that on Thursday. We practice it.
That's right.
We're good.
Right.
No problem.
You do work on that.
Number 5, Tennessee struggled, and no, they did not win. Lose 63-38. Spencer Rattler came into this game with 8 touchdown passes on the season. He threw 6 today. All right. And I'm going to tell you, this benefits LSU, no question about it, and several other teams with it. Hated to see Hendon Hooker go down. The kids had such a great year, and frankly, it was a pretty ugly-looking injury. I'm, concerned that's going to, be a pretty serious deal there, watching him walk off the field. So, but big night for Beamer Ball. They were going crazy with Beamer Ball.
That's the thing. Beamer Ball, they're good for 2 big games each year. They had he finished the regular season last year with some big games.
Weasel was on the sideline cheering him on and everything. Number 7, USC won the. It was an expected shootout, and it delivered with number 16 UCLA. Trojans win it 48-45. Caleb Williams threw for 470 yards for the Trojans. Again, not going to be any surprise to me if they hop LSU in the Tuesday rankings. Don't let it get to you. LSU's game against A&M against Georgia. They win them, they'll be fine. They don't, it's not going to matter anyway. Number 8, Alabama, easy over Austin Peay, 34-0. Clemson beat Miami 40-10. Miami got a win in their final game of the season just to get bowl eligible. Been a tough year for Mario Cristobal.
Really surprised with the NIL money they have and the transfers and some of the people they got in there. They've struggled more than I thought.
Number 12, Oregon beat number 10, Utah 20-17. Bo Nix, a game-time decision. He ended up playing through for 287 yards and a touchdown. So looks like Oregon, they win next week. Civil War They don't call it that anymore.
Yeah.
They beat Oregon State in the Pac-12 championship game against USC.
Oregon State's 8-3.
They're good. Yeah, they are. They're very good. Number 11, Penn State, no problem with Rutgers, 55-10. Number 13, North Carolina upset. Georgia Tech got them 21-17. Georgia Tech, who looked like one of the worst teams in college football in September, is one win away from being bowl eligible. Unfortunately for them, it's against Georgia, so they're probably not going to get there. But
with an interim coach,
the interim coach did a really nice job. I wish I could remember his name.
Yeah, me too.
Arkansas beat number 14 Ole Miss 42-27, despite 700 yards of total offense.
And I'm glad Sam Pittman rested KJ Jefferson to play Ole Miss.
Yeah, he threw 3 touchdown passes in his return today. Number 15, Kansas State beat West Virginia 48-31. Number 17, Washington beat Colorado 54-7. Michael Penix threw a touchdown pass. He's had a terrific year for them. Number 18, Notre Dame goes to 8-3. They shut out Boston College 44-0. Notre Dame and SC next week at the Mausoleum. Number 19, Florida State beat UL Lafayette 49-17. Seminoles now 8-3 on the season. Navy, a rare win over a ranked team on the road. They beat number 20 UCF 17-14. Oklahoma beat Oklahoma State 28-13 in Bedlam. Spencer Sanders, who has been the quarterback at Oklahoma State for a long, long time, threw 4 interceptions today. Oklahoma got all 28 points in the first quarter. Didn't score again after that, but they made it stand up. You mentioned Oregon State a minute ago. They beat Arizona State 31-7. Again, you're right. They are 8-3. They came in ranked 23rd in the country. Louisville beat number 24 NC State 25-10. Number 25 Cincinnati beat Temple 23-3. Mississippi State beat East Tennessee State 56-7.
Egg Bowl Thursday in Oxford.
Egg Bowl is Thursday. Can we? I floated this idea on the pregame show. This is the week where the teams that don't have rivals like LSU in the final week of the season play these non-conference games. Can we move this to week 0?
I'm with you.
Yeah,
why not? This is just bad.
LSU plays Georgia State next year in this week, this spot. Move the Grambling game to week 0 because you get a pass if you're playing an FCS school, and move the Georgia State game to week 2.
I'm with you.
And take this week as a bye before you play A&M. A&M did win today, 20-3 against UMass in front of dozens of people at Kyle Field. Vanderbilt beat Florida 31-24. We were talking about this game a minute ago, despite 400 yards from Anthony Richardson. Army beat UConn 34-17. Virginia Tech beat Liberty 23-22, a late score for the Hokies, who have had a really, really tough year. Battle of the interim coaches in Lincoln today. Wisconsin beats Nebraska 15-14. That gets the Badgers bowl eligible. Think Jim Leonard keeps that job?
Possibly.
Yeah,
possibly.
Mickey Joseph, couple of moments for Nebraska since taking over for Scott Frost, but they are 3-8 on the season. Purdue, Boiler up.
Yes, sir.
Seventh win today. They beat Northwestern 17-9.
Next week, bucket game.
Bucket. Well, Indiana won today. They beat Michigan State 39-31 in double overtime.
Ooh, Tuck is not coming.
Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh beat Duke 28-26, turned back a 2-point conversion by the Blue Devils late. UTSA beat Rice 41-7. It was Washington State over Arizona 31-20. Houston bombed East Carolina 42-3. Memphis over North Alabama 59-0. Texas gets their 7th win of the season. They beat Kansas 55-14. Jalen Daniels came back today for Kansas. First game since, I believe, the first week in October. Clearly rusty, though. He threw a very costly interception. Texas was up 31-0 at the half. Set the tone early. BYU beat Utah Tech 52-26. Found out that there is a Utah Tech. Did you know that?
I did. It's actually in St. George, Utah.
It is.
It used to be known as Dixie State University.
Okay.
And when I stayed there, and that was to visit Zion National Park, they felt like it was a little controversial, Civil War, and there was a big vote to call it Utah Tech. So I actually stayed there and drove past Dixie State's campus.
I have learned a ton about this school today. No, because I'd never heard of Utah Tech, so we looked them up. I didn't realize it was the former Dixie State. I had heard of Dixie State.
Yeah.
I'm going to be really impressed if you come with the mascot.
Oh, crap, I knew this. They're red and white. I actually watched a game on ESPN Plus, like Leopards or something like that.
Close. Trailblazers.
Exactly, not even close.
No, not even close. South Alabama beat Southern Miss 27-20. Troy beat UL Monroe 34-16. Charlotte over La Tech 26-21. Iowa beat Minnesota 13-10. Lowest total I've ever seen on a college football game.
Not rowing the boat today.
31.5, and they got under that. Auburn beat Western Kentucky 41-17. This game was tied at 17 at the half. Auburn scored all 24 points in the second half. Tank Bigsby with 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. Give Auburn an outside puncher's chance.
Yeah.
It's Iron Bowl, man.
Game's in Auburn?
No,
it was in Auburn last year. They had a chance to win with Harsin. I remember. I think it's
that's right. When Bigsby didn't go down inbounds, So 41-17.
No, they lose that game.
Probably. But let me hold out hope.
Hey, Brett Bielema's back. I'm glad.
Oh boy, was he steamed after the game today with the officiating. All right, let's see, where were we? The big game. Cal beat Stanford 27-20. 40-year anniversary of the bands on the field.
David Shaw's 3 and whatever.
3-8.
How do you get rid of David Shaw at Stanford?
That program's been on a decline for a couple 3 seasons now. Yeah. Texas Tech beat Iowa State 14-10. Boise State over Wyoming 20-17. Mizzou beat New Mexico State 45-14. Eli Drinkwitz, he of the contract extension, 1 game away from being bowl eligible.
Yeah, so they need to beat Arkansas in the border war next Friday.
Yeah.
That took the lovely CBS time that LSU and Arkansas used to have. They can have it.
I didn't hate that, by the way. The Friday game. I know a lot of people hated it. I never hated it.
It was just kind of like blah. I hated it.
It was tough sell in the stadium, but I never hated it. Wake Forest beat Syracuse 45-35. Air Force over Colorado State 24-12. Colorado State is the lowest scoring team in the country. They have not scored more than 19 points in a single game.
I'm surprised. That has everything you need to be a good program right there in Fort Collins. Cool place, hour and a half from Denver, and they've been poo the last 10 years since McElwain left.
Utah State beat San Jose State 35-31. It was Fresno State over Nevada 41-14. And Hawaii beat UNLV 31-25. I got to give Timmy Chang some credit for what he's done. I watched Hawaii in the first game of the season. Because they were playing Vandy in week 0.
Okay, that's right.
It was on. And we had a win total on Vandy. And they had – it wasn't quite the roster problems that LSU had, but – when Todd Graham left, they had a ton of people transfer out. They had to get Timmy Chang a little late in the hiring process, and he had not been a head coach yet. I watched him play against Vanderbilt. I said, they're not winning a game. They won 3, and they've been somewhat competitive. He's a legend there. He holds every school record, and that is your college football scoreboard. Game balls are next. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
See your Bayou GMC dealer.
With WCK, your home will be okay. With WCK, you're on solid ground today. A reputation for a strong foundation makes us leaders among peers. WCK, Foundation Repair. WCK, a leader among peers. WCK.
This holiday season, Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales and Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine are the easy choice for your new Chevrolet car, truck, or SUV with Chevy Cyber Cash, in addition to the lowest financing available, huge cash rebates, and top dollar for your trade. For more, please visit SupremeChevy.com or SupremeChevroletWest.com or find new roads to Supreme Chevrolet in Gonzales or Supreme Chevrolet West in Plaquemine, where you can always expect more.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters and this station.
98.1. Eagle 98.1 Game Day. Game Balls. Game Balls. Game Balls.
Presented by WCK Foundation Repair. Support your home team. WCK Foundation Repair.
Well, this one wasn't complicated. LSU was looking for a bounce-back performance from Jaden Daniels, and they got it. 22 of 29 for 297 yards and a touchdown through the air, 12 carries for 111 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Daniels back in the groove after a tough outing last week against Arkansas. He was fantastic tonight. Tip of the cap also to Marlon Martinez, who subbed in at center tonight, did a really nice job. On defense, Greg Penn had 8 tackles, including a tackle for loss, and he is our defensive player of the game. Our game balls, Greg Penn and Jaden Daniels. It's late, y'all. We're going to come back and wrap this dude up and head to Taylor's buying us all breakfast here, so we'll do that when we come back. Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Don't have time for cold or flu?
I don't have time for the cold or the flu.
We're here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. When you don't have time to be sick, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours. Do you think you have COVID-19?
I'm worried I may have COVID.
We're open 7 days a week for both rapid COVID and antibody testing. Life is busy. You don't have time. Get your results fast at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only
98.1.
Eagle 98.1 game day wrapping up. If Brian Kelly this morning when he woke up had been able to script the day, probably about 90% or more of what he would have scripted came to fruition today. The Tigers took control of the game in the first half. They got very good performances out of their quarterback and their defense. It had some nice fill-ins. So everything went really, really well today. A team that did not fall victim to looking past or playing flat. So kudos to the Tigers who wrapped up the home portion of their schedule with this win against UAB. Monday, Brian Kelly press conference will air on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. And next week, game day starts at 1 o'clock. The Tigers wrap up the regular season at Texas A&M, who will be playing their final game of the year. They are not bowl eligible. Final score once again, LSU wins it 41-10. From all of us here at the flagship, I'm Charles Hannegriff saying thank you and good morning. Have a great weekend, rest of the weekend. This has been Eagle 98.1 Game Day.
Anytime, anywhere.
Eagle 98.1.